props here on PrizePicks. Before I get started though, there is a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks. They will match 100% of your first deposit. Also, Discord link and Patreon link are in the description of this video as well. But let's get into it. We were coming off a day yesterday where we went 3-0 on our plays here. Joe Ryan over 5.5 strikeouts. He had 6. Luis Castillo over 7 strikeouts. He had 9. And Freddie Freeman went crazy yesterday. His line was set at 7 hitter fantasy score and he had 19. He had a home run actually in that first inning in his first at bat. So it was good to see. Again, perfect 3-0 clean slate yesterday on the MLB plays. Trying to bounce back, or not bounce back, but trying to replicate that again today. Again, not a financial advisor, it's not gambling advice. These are just the plays that I'm personally looking at making. But yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Today I have 3 hitter fantasy scores. There are some pitching props that I like. If you're a part of the Patreon, I'll definitely put some pitcher props on the plays that I like today. But for this video, I'm giving 3 hitter fantasy scores that I like. Going to give 3 player props here, all hitter fantasy scores. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So the first play that I like is, I'm just going to do it as I think they come. It's going to be Ian Happ over 7 hitter fantasy score. I think Ian Happ's having a really good season. I think for the Cubs, he's been kind of a bright spot offensively. Haven't gotten the production like from Seiya Suzuki. Wilson Contreras has been kind of up and down, but Ian Happ has been pretty solid for them all season. And he's got a matchup here against Patrick Corbin. Well, first off, Ian Happ against lefties in general, he hits 333, 870 OPS, so a whole 70 points higher OPS versus lefties in comparison to righties. And over the last 7 days, he's hitting 400 with a 1.284 OPS. And his game log, you can see he has a home run, coming off a game where he had 2 home runs against Washington and has a home run here against Cincinnati. So 3 home runs in his last 3 games here. You can see the hits here are starting to pile up as well as the RBIs. But I like Ian Happ here specifically because all time, in his career versus Patrick Corbin, he's got 9 plate appearances and he's got 3 hits, a single, a double, and a home run. He's batting .375 against Patrick Corbin in his career and .875 slugging percentage. Again, versus lefties, he hits around 50 points higher against lefties than he does against righties. Love this spot here for Ian Happ against Patrick Corbin, who Patrick Corbin I think gives up the most home runs in baseball. So I don't want to lock in a home run for Ian Happ here, but I definitely think 7 hitter fantasy score for him. I think he gets at least 2, maybe 3 at bats here against Patrick Corbin. I think Washington lets kind of Patrick Corbin just pitch at least 4 innings, depending on how he does. But he gets absolutely rocked and he stays in the game. So hopefully Ian Happ can get 2, maybe 3 at bats against him today, which will hopefully result in a over 7 hitter fantasy score for him. I like the over on this one. The next one is going to be, I'm just going to see it as they appear. It is going to be Paul Goldschmidt at 8.5, over 8.5 here. Now he's got a matchup against a lefty as well, in Kyle Freeland. And let's just see, Paul Goldschmidt, right, against lefties is an animal. 432 batting average on the year, 7 home runs, 20 RBIs, 17 walks. Just hitting 432, right? 432. Let's see what his OPS is. 432 with a 1.345 OPS. Slugging is sitting at 815. So he's tops in pretty much every offensive category for against left-handed pitchers, right? He's absolutely WRC plus right here, 269. He's over Austin Riley by about 40 points. Just absolute animal, 432 average. So, I've talked about this in previous videos. There's players here in the MLB, especially with player props like hitter fantasy score or total bases, that you can't go wrong adding them to your lines, right? Like Paul Goldschmidt, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Rafael Devers. There's a ton of players, right? There's about 10 to 15 players that are any given night, like Yordan Alvarez. There's any given night, your odds of hitting, it's worth it, to add them to your line. But I love Paul Goldschmidt here in this matchup against a lefty. Paul Goldschmidt against lefties, been adding him to my lines all year long. He has been going absolutely crazy. I like the over here on this one at 8.5 hitter fantasy score for Paul Goldschmidt. And then the last play is going to be Jose Abreu at 4.5. Now, 4.5, super low for Jose Abreu. Now, I get it. They're facing, this is a pitcher's matchup, by the way. Dylan Cease versus Justin Verlander. But Jose Abreu facing Justin Verlander. So I kind of get the reasoning here for PrizePicks to have his line so low. But what's interesting to me is Jose Abreu against Verlander in his career is hitting 370, 431 OBP, .826 slugging percentage. In his career, he's got 51 plate appearances, so he's faced him. Like, that's a significant sample size. 51 plate appearances, he got 17 hits, 6 home runs, 8 singles, and 3 doubles, 5 walks. I mean, we're talking about a 4.5 hitter fantasy score for him. If we break this down, scoring chart, MLB hitter fantasy score, 4.5. I mean, he could walk twice and score a run. He could have a single with an RBI, and he hits his over here on this one. 4.5 seems extremely low for Jose Abreu, who also, I mean, not just against Justin Verlander in his career. I mean, he's hitting the ball against righties. He's hitting 305 on the season, so that's a plus value there. Last 7 days, he's hitting 333, right? Over his last 15, he's hitting 310. So he's hitting the ball well this season, right? 11th in baseball batting average. Like, this is a legitimate hitter, right? This isn't someone who at 4.5, seems reasonable. Like Jose Abreu at 4.5, regardless if he faces whoever he's pitching. I like his value here. 4.5 hit fantasy score. I got the over on this one. So those are the 3 total player props that I like. I like Ian Happ over hitter fantasy score 7, Paul Goldschmidt over 8.5 hitter fantasy score, and then Jose Abreu over 4.5 hitter fantasy score. So let me know in the comments, you guys, below how you feel about these player props. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on this video. As always, you guys have a great day.